Oh.
Big jump.
Oh, the new house?
Yeah.
24th of February.
Sweet.
Yeah, we're excited. My sister's moving in with us.
You mentioned that on the phone a while back.
Yeah, so she's in our house now. And she's down to one dog instead of two, which is nice. But
I understand.
Well, we
I
were
mean,
working.
5 dogs is a lot. So 24th of February, although we'll see. I got a TR, or we got a contract basically as is, except for major.
Yeah.
Well, the guy's a new home buyer. He sent us the list of repairs from the inspection, 20 grand.
He just like sent you the inspection report.
Yeah, he wanted it done. I'm like, yeah, no.
Is there a red light?
It's blue.
So, yeah, so I called and lit up the
Yeah, there.
agent. And then he called Leroy and then he did Leroy because they were clinical. He says, number one, she's the seller, and number two, she's a licensed real estate agent. So yes, she can talk to you about TRs. And your client sent this to us.
Good night, Senator.
Mhm. Yeah, no, it was all kinds of funky.
That's odd.
Yeah. Nice.
Okay, can you hear us?
I gotcha.
All right. Hey, John, we're going to take just a second and invite our sponsor to say a few words, if that's okay. And then
Of
I'm going
course.
to you. Okay. All right. Well, Keith, come on up. You may know Keith. You may not. Trust me, I know Keith. I know, I do. I just have to give so much gratitude for what you did when Megan came on board. Because as many of you know, Megan came on board, never been in MCA, never been in a real estate office, and pretty much said she had very small amount of time for training. And she was on the phone with you, I think 15, 16 times a day.
Yeah, we were just on speed dial to each other.
Yeah.
We got it.
So Keith was the assistant MCA, and I use that word lightly because you pretty much ran that job up at Keller Williams Elite. So when we found out that he made a move and said, I'm going to spread my wings and get into lending and mortgage, we were so excited to have him come. So take a few minutes. You're with AMC.
Yes.
Give him the lowdown.
Yep. Like Stephanie said, I was with Keller. I've been with Keller for 9 years before I made the jump. I was at KW Elite, and then I was actually at KW in Chicago, where John is from, for a brief period as well.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Yeah, that was a brief little jump. I was in Chicago, worked up there. I was an AMCA, I was a transaction coordinator. I've been a selling realtor. I graduated from OU and then went straight into the real estate game. So saying all of that, I've been in y'all's shoes for the last 9 or so years, and I know where you guys are coming from as realtors. And I'm trying my very best to mirror that into my business to make my mortgage experience as easy for you from your perspective, and kind of take my knowledge there and bring that to you all. I am with AMC Mortgage. We are locally owned. We're based out of Tulsa. We're in Oklahoma, Texas, and Arkansas. All in-house underwriting, all in-house processing. I love my company. We're small, we're local, we're agile in that way. If we need to do something, one call away from my owner or my president to be able to come up with a solution. If anything can be done, we'll make it happen. As far as our products offering, we're pretty standard, fully underwritten in-house, FHA, commercial or conventional, VA, jumbo, 184, anything residential that you guys think somebody's got, we've got it. We do have a great USDA program, and I know there's a lot of that, especially east of here towards the lake. There's a lot of USDA products. So you guys keep that in your hand, 0 down payment for a lot of your clients, and that's an underutilized product that can be super helpful. And you'd be surprised what geography is eligible for that. So that's one we're really great at doing. Other than that, I'd appreciate getting to just chat with anybody. My card is up here, as well as some goodies for you. The glasses wipes are really great for sunglasses. Keep those in your card. So if you guys need anything, my info is there. Sandy's got my info as well. I work with Sandy at Elite. That's how I connected down for today's meeting. So thank you for inviting me over, Sandy.
You're welcome.
If you guys have questions, my info's there. For those of you that I don't know, hopefully we'll connect soon. Thanks for letting me come by today.
All right. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. All right. Thanks so much, Kate. Okay, John, we're ready for you. I want to just say a few words about you. It's a pleasure meeting you for the first time on Zoom. So as you know, we love to bring in icons in our industry from other areas in our Keller Williams world. And Missy Webb is such a connector for great agents throughout our whole ecosystem at Keller Williams. And when she says, I've got someone, you know, whenever she says, I've got someone, that means they've got to be pretty flippin' awesome for her to put her reputation on the line and bring people to Oklahoma. But let me tell you a little bit about John. John leads his, how do you say is it Astoria?
Well done. Yeah, it's Astoria. Can you hear me okay? I just want to make sure my mic is on.
I lived in Chicago about 20 years ago, so no,
Gotcha.
that has nothing to do with it. So John runs his Astoria group at Keller One in Chicago. Stomping ground to some of my buddies, Karen Kroll and some others up there. So he last year, his business, he closed 26 transactions, totaling $8.1 million. Okay, so that probably alludes to the fact that he's a certified luxury specialist. So he specializes in the luxury market. He works with a lot of professionals, a lot of executives, a lot of sports and media. And your goals this year, 35 to 40 transactions and about 15 million in sales. So we would probably love to hear so much more, but I'm going to turn it over to you, Summer, and let you give it the interview. Okay?
Hi, John.
Hey, Summer, how's it going?
How are you?
Good, thanks.
Good. So let's just start off and tell us a little bit about yourself, your real estate career. When did you get started? How long have you been in the business?
Absolutely. Okay. I began my real estate career in 2004. My wife and I had just moved from New York City, which is where I'm originally from, to Chicago. It was through the sale of our condo in Manhattan that really got me thinking hard about real estate. And I had been working on Wall Street for about 10 years. And all I really got out of it, and I'm not going to downplay what I did, because I learned a lot of good financial tips and how to kind of run my life from that perspective. But I was just tired of sitting at a desk all day, and really I wasn't fulfilled. And it was through that sale of our home in New York City that made me think that this is a good opportunity for me. I had come to Chicago thinking I might go to business school, and I ended up getting my real estate license instead, and began my career at Keller Williams in our Gold Coast office, we had a Gold Coast office at the time, in December of that year. And if there is a rule book on how to do it wrong, I followed it. I had to really, and it took several years, and thank God I had my wife with her good profession, and she gave me the grace and opportunity to really explore real estate and figure out how to do this right. And she let me, and she helped me fail through it. I had business partnerships, in quotes, that really weren't very productive. They were toxic. And I didn't understand what owning a business really meant. And it took several years for me to get out of being in a subsistence or survival phase to get into a business ownership mentality. And then by the time I got that, I got into that mentality, and I was really getting to work, or that mindset, and I was really getting to work with a lot of people. The Great Recession hit in 2008. And that was a huge eye opener. It was a huge opportunity for me to grow. And I sank literally to the bottom. Served foreclosure papers, all of the awful things that people had to go through during that recession, I went through. And I will credit the people that I surround myself with, the training I did. That was when Bold was really starting. It was started because of the Great Recession in 2008 or 2007. And it got my head around treating my business like a business, asking for business more than just showing up and expecting business to come my way, and really establishing relationships. I've never looked back since those days, and I've gotten into coaching. We ended up saving our home. We ended up doing really, really well for several years. And then we had our second child. We have two, and really got into coaching, being coached. I'm not a coach myself, though I do mentor some agents in my office. And really began to understand what it's like to own a business, operate a business, and treat my business like a business.
I think that's one of the biggest things, especially for agents, when we get into this, we get into it and we come from, 9-to-5s, or we're employees of somebody. And we have no concept that we're literally the CEO of a business. And so tell me more about that. What were some lessons you learned there? How did you start to kind of have that mindset of running your business like a business?
Sure. A lot of it was failing forward, I would say. I had a business partner that was only a business partner in name. He really wasn't contributing much to the business. He thought he was kind of teaching me how to run or how to be a salesman versus being a business owner. And it came around 2008, 2009, where my wife and I agreed that I needed to separate from him. And as fate would have it, when I was about to have that hard conversation, he came and told me he had to move. He was moving back to his home where he grew up on the East Coast. And he said, "Are you going to be okay?" I looked at him promptly and said, "Yeah, well, I'll be fine. Don't worry." In my heart, I'm thinking, thank you. Thank you, Lord. You saved me from having this hard conversation, which I was ready to have. And then when people in my database found out that I was officially on my own, all those folks that I started talking to and I had been talking to and building relationships came back to me and said, "Hey, we really want to work with you now. We didn't like the other guy. We want to work with you." And that's when I really started to understand that I wasn't just riding a desk waiting for the phone to ring. It was go out, be myself, talk to my database, love on my database, and the business would flow from there.
Love that. So you mentioned in the text with Missy and I about client care being your main focus.
Yeah.
I am also obsessed with that. I think that's very important. How has that served your business in the best way?
The best way is my clients know that they're not getting anything canned. And when I say canned, I'm not sitting there just reciting scripts to them, even though I know them. They know that when I'm talking to them, I'm solely focused on them. I am not looking at anybody as a paycheck. I believe my integrity and my sincerity comes through. And that has led to the success I've had. And I'm working on tapping it into making that next jump. I've been, $8 to $10 million producer for the last, 8 years. And it's time for me to jump to the next level.
Awesome. So what made you decide to go luxury? Has that always been your area of focus?
It was a natural progression, I'd say, because my business is totally database and sphere focused and agent referral focused. It's one of the reasons Missy and I are such good friends. I have families that I have worked with the entirety of my eldest son's life because we all met at daycare. Forgive me, I might get emotional about this because these people are also some of my best friends. And several of those relationships have led to introducing me to their friends and their friends and their friends. And as they've grown, I've grown with them. They bought their first condo with me. They bought their move-up condo with me. Then they bought their single-family house with me. And in Chicago, you can get all of that. That's one of the things I love about Chicago. It's everything from high-rise living to nice single-family houses. And so I kind of morphed into that luxury because so many of my sphere came from just getting to Chicago and starting to work the same time that I did, to really growing, accumulating wealth, and then saying, "Hey," I think my nickname amongst my friends is JP. Say, "Hey, JP, we need you. It's time to make our move." And so that's really how I got into luxury. I got myself certified in it as a certified luxury home marketing specialist about 4 years ago. And I have been in that market ever since. I got in that market previously, but now I have that certification, which is nice to have. But more than anything, it's just mindset.
I love that. So you are referral based, whether that be your database or, you know, other agents across the country. Tell me how, I feel like agents have this thing where they're so afraid to ask the people they know and love and trust for business. So
Yeah.
how do you overcome that? What's a tip you can give to agents for that?
If we're talking about agent to agent, I would say make sure you go to as many KW events as you can, whether they're regional or national, like Family Reunion and Mega Camp, Masterminds, and get into relationship with people you like from all over the country. You don't have to talk to celebrities, okay? My business doesn't come from celebrities. My business comes from friends, people that I know, people that I've sat across the lunch or dinner table or dueling pianos in Austin, or any of those things. And I think, I mean, Missy and I had known each other for a long time, but at least on Facebook and as Facebook friends through KW. But then a couple of years ago in Dallas, we were at the same hotel and we had a conversation over a fire that was actually happening in the building. I knew I had to get that in there somehow, but it was so funny. I had come out, I was still kind of in my sleep clothes. I had a late night. And I'm not afraid to admit that. And she had already been out and was doing her thing, going to classes and coming back and getting her coffee and going out to the next one. I was still rolling out of my bed. But the authenticity is what's there. You know, you get to have those conversations and you make real connections. There's nothing that can replace that. I have friends from all over the country, and when they recommend me, whether it's in the Facebook Mafia, which I loathe, but have to be a part of because it's there. It's nice to be able to say when someone says, "Oh, you were referred by X, Y, and Z from all these different places." I said, "Yeah, we see each other all the time, at least twice a year." Now it's been difficult over the last couple of years, but it's nice to be able to keep in touch with everybody, and I can't wait to see them again. And unfortunately, I won't be at KW Family Reunion this year because I have something a little bit more important to do with my family. But I would encourage any of you who are going to Family Reunion, please meet as many people from as many markets as you possibly can. If you need to be strategic about it, go for it. I think about people who I know are going to have people moving to and from Chicago. And then I get to meet even more people because of that. When it comes to your friends and family, I know how hard this can be because I was there. For years, I was like, I don't know how to ask like my in-laws or my buddies, hey, who do you know? And then it got to be kind of a game where we would joke around the bar or at dinner tables or when we were out. So y'all know what I do for a living, right? Because the conversation would always flow into real estate because they knew what I did. And I would come up, and I do this to my buddies. I have like 5 really close friends of mine that we have an ongoing text message chain that has gone on for at least 3 or 4 years. And I say, hey guys, it's that time of year, just checking in. Who do you know? And it happens. It happens. And, you know, don't be ashamed to ask for business. Just tell folks, hey, you know what I do? And this is how and in your mind, you don't even have to say it to them. Like, this is how I feed my family, you know, just be proud of who you are and say, hey, I can provide a great service to anybody you know. So just let me know who I can help. And you'd be surprised how fast people, especially your true friends, people who know you as a human, not just as a salesperson or in real estate, they'll help. They want to help. They really do.
That's awesome. So you talked earlier about following the playbook of how to not succeed in real estate in the beginning. What is one lesson, the biggest lesson that you think you learned in that time period?
Tracking your numbers. Oh my God, I am going to sound like a coach and a bold enthusiast, which I actually am. Okay, here are a couple of things. Number one, track your numbers. Know how many people you're talking to, how many deals that gets you. Number two, keep a goal in front of you. I'm not in my office right now because I just moved offices inside our market center, but I can tell you I have 3 or 4 goals up on the wall in front of me. The first is the trip to Italy that I'm trying to take with, well, I will take with my family once we feel comfortable traveling overseas. The ski trip I'm taking later this month with my family. That is the reason I won't be at family reunion. Knowing your numbers, having your goals in front of you, and kind of, another thing I do is I track my deals on a live spreadsheet that I have that keeps me accountable to my goals. And it helps me understand where I stand versus my goals and how much more I need to do to get there. And the last thing, and it sounds so trite, but it's so true. Oh gosh, focusing on the activity rather than the result. I'm sure so many of you have heard that. And it's true. I have kept myself over the last 8 years at a specific level of activity that has kept me in the 175 to 225,000 GCI range. And I am now moving past that this year because I identified my own blind spot. It's me, it's up here. It's all right here. And so I was in mastery coaching for several years, which was awesome. And I wouldn't tell anybody not to do it. I have made, because it kept me where I am right now, but I'm moving into transformational coaching to help me get through my own mental blocks, because they're mine and I know it and I own them. That will get me past why I'm not going the extra mile on the activity side to get myself another 10 deals and another $5 million. And it's incremental. I reach that goal next year, it's $5 million more the year after that. It's $5 million more the year after that, which may be 10 to 15 deals per year. Because my goal, and I'm declaring it to the world in front of all of you, is within 5 years to have a business my son, who will be graduating college in 5 years, can step into with me if he so desires.
That's awesome. Well, I think you'll get there. That's going to be great. I'm excited.
Thank you. It's the big goal.
When did you step into transformational over mastery coaching?
Just this year. It was December. I had a really fantastic coach. Her name, I'm going to give you her name. Her name's Liz Landry. A lot of you may actually know her. And she and I had been coaching together for, oh gosh, 3-4 years. And it was December, and it's that, it's so funny. It's like you start to have those real deep mindset conversations as you start wrapping your year up. And I said, Liz, this has been awesome. It's been an eye-opening year, because she gave me some tools that I had never used before, especially tracking my own financial health. And I said, I need to inch my production up another $5 to $10 million a year. And she said, well, how do you think you're going to get there? And I said, I know what to do. I'm just not doing enough of it. And I said, do you think, and I came to her, I said, do you think I should be in transformational coaching? She said, I want you to explore it. It sounds like a good idea. And working with her and being introduced to the coach that I'm with now, it really became a super eye opener. And I said, let's go, let's do this. And so I started transformational coaching in this month, just January 3rd or 4th or 5th.
Wow. And as far as that goes, it's been a month, so it hasn't been a very long time, but it sounds like you've learned an insane amount. So what do you think has been the biggest thing that you've taken away so far from the transformational coaching?
Focus. Great question. And it was focus. It is focus. And I definitely feel like I have this, I'm self-diagnosed with ADHD, I'm sure of it. My coach gave me some really good focus exercises that help me get through the day more productively. I get at least 5 more contacts in now than I was getting in before, and that's a huge deal. If you're doing 15 to 20 and you get 5 more contacts a day, that's 10% or 50, maybe even 20%, right? And my goal is to get 1% better every day. And if I'm getting at least 20% better on my contacts, That's a huge jump.
Love that. So you are in that 8 million mark, but you still lead generate.
Absolutely. Without lead generating, there won't be that won't happen.
I love that.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I mean, if I don't remind my database, even the people who love me, what I do, they'll forget, not because they're bad people, but because I'm not doing my job.
That's right.
Can I
And
ask a question?
of course, yes.
Hey, John, it's Stephanie again. I have a question. You have referred a couple of times to Bold.
Yes,
And we have Bold coming live at the end of March this year, and it's been 2 years since we've had a live Bold. And so we have a lot of people that have joined our office that have not ever experienced that.
yeah.
Can you give us your opinion, your perspective on Bold and how many times you've taken it and whatever else you want to say about it? As long as it's good. No.
I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about it right now. Okay. I did not go to the very, very first bowl we had in 2007. This was when the Great Recession was really hitting. And I had some good friends of mine. I'll give you the names too. Some you may have heard of. And one guy's named Kelly Clute, and the other guy's name is Mark Rantis. We all served the Chicago area in different capacities. Kelly and I were in the same boat. He was probably worse off than me because of his financial hole was deeper than mine. And I saw what it did for him after that first bowl, and then said, okay, I got to get into this. Am I a skeptic sometimes? Yes. Am I a cynic sometimes? Yes. Do I sometimes get into that trap of thinking, oh my God, they just want my money? Yes. And then I realized, wait a second. I came from a corporate background, and one thing I know is about investing. If I don't invest in myself, who else will? And so the second time Bold came around, I got in. I got into it. And to say it was a life changer would be an understatement. I was maybe doing $2 to $3 million a year, and in Chicago, that's not a lot of deals. And I was just in survival mode, and I wasn't surviving. Bold taught me to organize myself, to call people, to get over the initial fear of reaching out to people, and to kind of make it fun, to gamify the business. I think I've taken Bold 25 times.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it was that coaching, that level of coaching in 2013, after I did all the work during the Great Recession, and I really concentrated on Bold. I even benefited from a blind scholarship to Bold from, I believe it was a very good friend of mine in our Orland, it's our Orland Park Market Center. The OP, his name was Ron Wexler at the time. He's still there, but I don't think he's an OP anymore. He's just an owner. I benefited from that. And it really, it adds up. All the activities are so cumulative that if you may not be feeling anything happening for your business for 30 to 60 days, and all of a sudden, whoosh, it's a flood. And that's what happened to me. That's what allowed me to save my home, to put us in a much better financial position, and to really start making some of our dreams come true. Did I answer your question completely? Because I got into the emotional side of it.
Yes, you did.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I mean, doing your contacts, doing the exercises, doing the homework, it's all cumulative. It all adds up. If you're not a different person by the end of Bold, and I'm not saying you got to change, I'm just saying more of who you really are comes out, you did it wrong.
So from everything you've talked about, I've kind of picked up on a theme with you, and consistency is the best word that I can think of. You seem like you're very consistent in your business, especially after that kind of dip with all of that. So how do you stay consistent? What's your secret to that?
It's gamifying the business now. It's really being organized. I have I have a little sheet every morning with the phone calls, text messages, emails, and notes I want to send. And that really has to be done. And I'm not perfect. I don't always get it done in the morning. I don't always get it done that day, but I know it's there and I get to it. In one way or the other, you have to reach out to your people. That is the most important thing about being consistent, whether it's over social media, Facebook Messenger, text, phone call, any of that. Just keep people in touch with you and keep yourself in touch with them. Show them you care about their lives, and they will naturally continue to think about you as not just a friend, but someone they want to do business with.
So anything that you want to share with new agents, seasoned agents, anything that you can think of that would help their business?
Coaching.
Okay.
Absolutely. Accountability more than just that. I mean, we can all read the red book and we can all say we know what to do. Holding yourself accountable to that is really the next level. It's what will keep you consistent and it will keep you moving forward. I am accountable to my coach every week on this.
Like that. Did you do max coaching? Is that where you started?
That's where I started. I started in Match Mastery coaching. It was 2013. It was the year that all the floodgates broke open, and I did about 250,000 in GCI. It was life changing. It was literally 150,000 more than I'd ever made on Wall Street. I was sitting here watching old bull coach, man, named Pat Mancuso. I bet some of you in the room probably know who he is. He was coaching another agent on getting into coaching, and I'm sitting there watching him coach my friend Katrina, and I'm like, okay, he's talking. He may be talking to her, but he's really talking to me. And it was literally my fear of going backwards and getting myself into that hole again, where I said, I need accountability. I need this more than just during bowl. I need this every week. And that's what made me make the jump.
That's awesome. So I have one more question, and then we can see if anybody else has questions. I know you can't see all of this, but so in Chicago, where's the best pizza?
Oh, that is I'm a New Yorker originally. You know how hard that is for me to answer? I will tell you. My favorite pizzeria, there's two of them. My favorite pizzerias are called Peace Pizza in the Bucktown neighborhood where I used to live. It's flat pizza.
Okay, New Yorker, I get that. Okay.
Yeah. But the ingredients are just so fresh. And then I like the deep dish, but it's more of a food pie to me.
Yeah.
The other one is a place called Pequod's, and they season the pizza really, really well, and they put some cheese inside the crust. That's pretty good too.
Okay. I love it. That's awesome. Well, does anybody else have questions for John?
I am an open book. I'd love to answer anything you have.
This isn't real estate, but how cold is it in Chicago?
It actually is 30 degrees. It feels like spring today. Yeah, we've had a cold spell in the teens and below zero for the last week or so. So today the snow's melting. So today the snow's melting, and I'm not wearing a heavy sweater. I'm just wearing my winter uniform, which is my vest.
Wow. I love it.
Gary wears all black. I wear vests.
That's awesome. John, thank you so much for your time. This was really, really great.
It's my pleasure. If anybody has any questions, feel free to reach out to me anytime. I'm happy to help.
I'll share your phone number with everybody.
Absolutely.
Thanks, John.
It's my pleasure.
Bye.
Bye.
I don't know how to do this, Andy. Where'd you go?
You say leave me and right there, the red.
Oh, there it is, end, right?
Yep.